The most redeeming qualities of Grant County, Colorado is its ability to come together during adversity. Now more than ever, Grand County needs your support. The Grand Foundation has established the Grand County Wildfire Emergency Fund to support the needs of Grand County residents. The American Red Cross prevents and alleviates human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors. The American Red Cross, through its strong network of volunteers, donors, and partners, is always there in times of need. They aspire to turn compassion into action so that all people affected by disaster across the country and around the world receive care, shelter, and hope, so that their communities are ready and prepared for disasters, so that everyone in our country has access to safe, life-saving blood and blood products, so that all members of our armed services and their families find support and comfort whenever needed, and so that, in an emergency, there are always trained individuals nearby ready to use their Red Cross skills to save lives. The Red Cross is a worldwide institution in which all societies have equal status and share equal responsibilities and duties in helping each other. To make a donation or to volunteer your time, please head over to redcross.org or to the web address shown on screen for information about the Red Cross of Northern Colorado. And again, hello everybody, I am Steven D'Agostino, 4D3D3D3 with Denver Drone Company. Today we are having a bracket-style tournament between 8 pilots, and to reiterate, to say the least, 2020 has been a year full of adversity, as well as triumph. And we're holding this event in an attempt to bring light to some of the organizations that are working to surmount that adversity at any chance they can. So that was a mission statement from the Red Cross of Northern Colorado. We're going to get started with another organization that you might have heard of, the Colorado State University. In the aftermath of destructive wildfires, reforestation of burned land helps protect water supplies, restores wildlife habitat, and reduces flooding and erosion. Donations to the Restoring Colorado's Forests Fund will provide tree seedlings for planting on privately owned and state-managed lands throughout Colorado that have been most severely impacted by wildfire or other disasters. Areas that are most critical to water protection and wildlife habitat, and that provide the most public benefit, will be targeted for planting efforts. In addition, if you are interested in making a career out of a passion for preservation and restoration, you could check out the Warner College of Natural Resources at the Colorado State University. For more information or to make a contribution, you can go to advancing.colostate.edu/Restoring Colorado's Forests. So right now we've got some of the pilots practicing the track here. We're on board with It's Blunty. We're going to give him a watch while I tell you about the bracket betting. On our Facebook page, there's a post for the event, and in that post there's a link to take you to a Google Documents form where you can submit a bracket for free, saying which pilots you think are going to win which round of racing. And if you have the most correct picks, we're going to send you a ½ ounce of silver in the shape of a Lego brick. So be sure to get those in before the racing starts, and we'll do our best to get those all tallied up before the end of the race. Got a potential CSU alum in the chat here. So now before we hear about the race rules and introduce the pilots that'll be competing for first place, let's take a couple of minutes to hear from the CEO of United Way about their 2020 Fires Fund, in addition to their 211colorado.org assistance program.
CEO of the United Way of Larimer County. As a 26-year member of this amazing community, I'm honored to announce that the United Way has launched the Cameron Peak Fire Recovery Fund this week. We're calling upon businesses, local donors, and others in our community and across the state to support our efforts to support our mountain community as they recover from the largest wildfire in Colorado history. We know that the needs and extent of the damage are long and deep, and we are here and are committed to supporting our neighbors for the long haul. Please join us at uwaylc.org, where you can make a financial contribution to this fund, or nocovolunteers.org, where you can volunteer to sign up for the many needs that we know will surface. We thank you so much. Couldn't be more honored to work alongside this incredible community in a time where a Larimer United is needed more than ever. Thanks.
Alright, so today we have a bracket style tournament. There are 8 pilots, so 4 sets of races in the first round between 2 pilots head to head. First to 3 laps takes a race. First to win 3 races takes their round and moves on to the next set of the bracket. After that we'll have the semifinals, and then followed by the finals to see who's going to be the ultimate winner of today's tournament. On the Facebook page, again, I mentioned there is a bracket form that you can fill out and submit to dimdroneco@gmail.com to be entered into a chance to win a ½ ounce of silver. So you'll open up that form, place your picks in the blue boxes for each of the rounds, and then the final winner, the champion, you'll place your pick for that in the gold box in the center. At the bottom there are 2 yellow boxes, one to place your name and one to place your email address so we can contact you in the event that you win. We would prefer if you would make a copy as opposed to asking for view access for the document. You can fill out that copy, and then up in the top right corner with share and export, you can send a PDF version to dendroneco@gmail.com. DENDRONECO@gmail.com. So be sure to get those brackets in before the race starts so you have a chance to win ½ ounce of silver. And in addition to that ½ ounce of silver for the winner of the bracket, the first place winner today will take home a gram of gold, and the second place winner will take home a full ounce of silver. Pilots that we have racing in this event today are It's Blunty, a content creator and pilot out of Denver, Colorado. We have Flightning, who will be going up against Blunty in the first round. Then we have Bella Chow and Bumper going head to head in the second round of the opening races. Dr. Ride will be taking on Slippy, and Skittles, FPV Skittles, will be racing against Trim Kang. Those are the pilots that are participating in the races today, and that is the order of the races for today's event. We may have to swap around Bella Chow and Bumper because I know Bella Chow had some previous obligations and he's on his way. So while we do that, the Grand Foundation operates out of Granby in Grand County, Colorado, and is working to provide support to Grand County residents and businesses affected by the wildfires. I would like to take a second to play you the mission statement for the Grand Foundation out of Granby, Colorado. The most redeeming qualities of Grand County, Colorado is its ability to come together during adversity. Now more than ever, Grand County needs your support. The Grand Foundation has established the Grand County Wildfire Emergency Fund to support the needs of Grand County residents who have been evacuated, displaced, or have lost their homes during the Grand County wildfires. 100% of donations will be distributed locally to those in need. The East Troublesome Fire has devastated Grand Lake and continues to threaten Granby, Colorado, Hot Sulphur Springs, and surrounding areas. The fire started on Wednesday, October 14th, and grew 6 times its size in 24 hours. The speed, size, and location of the fire have forced evacuations and the closure of Rocky Mountain National Park and many surrounding roads. Several Grand County residents have lost their homes. Weather, terrain, and beetle-kill lodgepole pine have contributed to the growth of this fire. As fires continue to burn, volunteer organizations are on the ground providing critical support for victims and emergency responders. The lives of our Grand County residents and those fighting for them have been turned upside down overnight with little to no warning. They need our support now. To show that support, please click the link in the description below to be taken to the Grand Foundation's website. Another organization similar to the Grand Foundation working out of Boulder County, Colorado is the Boulder County Community Foundation. The Boulder County Community Foundation similarly assists residents and businesses operating in Boulder, Colorado. Here is a short video of their mission statement to follow up the Grand Foundation. Grants from the Boulder County Community Foundation 2020 Fires Fund will be made to nonprofit organizations, municipal, and county entities to support immediate relief needs and longer-term recovery needs for individuals and organizations. Boulder County staff will work with individuals to identify needs and deploy financial help. Additionally, the 2020 Fires Fund will make grants directly to nonprofit organizations affected by the fires or that are providing additional services to the community because of the fires. An advisory committee to Community Foundation Boulder County will advise decision-making. If funds raised exceed needs, the excess will be placed in Community Foundation Boulder County's COVID-19 Response Fund. They understand the weight of this additional community crisis during a year when so many are already stretched thin, emotionally, mentally, and financially, due to the pandemic. Know that they are with you, and their energy to support the needs of Boulder County remains steadfast. To contribute to the Boulder County Community Foundation's 2020 Fires Relief Fund, please go to www.comfound.org/2020firesfund. So we have 6 of the 8 pilots in the lobby now. We're getting closer to starting the racing. But we do have one more organization that I'd like to highlight real quick. It is the Colorado Professional Firefighters Foundation. The Colorado Professional Firefighters Foundation works to bring aid to firefighters and their families who risk their lives to protect you and yours. The mission of the Colorado Professional Firefighters Foundation is to provide aid and support to Colorado firefighters, their families, and dependents who are victims of tragedy. The Colorado Professional Firefighters Foundation was founded in January 2002 by members of the Colorado Professional Firefighters who recognized the tremendous void left in the lives of Colorado firefighters when tragedy strikes. The founders realized the men and women who sacrifice their lives or are injured while saving others leave families with very real emotional and financial needs. Many of the needs of the widows, widowers, and orphans of fallen firefighters are overlooked after a tragedy. It was from this financial void the purpose of the Colorado Firefighters Foundation was forged. Donations to the foundation go directly to families of firefighters who have fallen, or directly to firefighters who are injured or have suffered great tragedy. To make a contribution, please head over to cpfffoundation.com or click the link in the description of the YouTube stream below to be taken directly to a page to donate. Alright folks, and now the last of the 8 organizations which we're highlighting today is the Larimer County Humane Society. Often overlooked in times of need are the needs of pets and pet owners who care for their pets very deeply but have no way to take care of them in times of tragedy. And they've prepared a video to highlight their actions and how they're helping in these times of need.
Yeah, so our involvement in the response effort for both the Bluestone Fire and the Cameron Peak Fire has been multifaceted. We've been involved with the Emergency Operations Center. We've also been prepared and have taken in animals for sheltering under protective custody for families that were evacuated.
Animal protection and control staff provided assistance during the fires by providing transportation for evacuees who couldn't transport their animals to Larimer Humane Society themselves.
A big part of preparing for the fires was making sure that we had adequate kennel space, that there was enough room in the barn. So what we really did is rearranged a lot of animals and strategically placed them around the shelter to make sure that we had enough room for animals coming in.
We started to get calls for service for evacuations actually on Sunday night, but after we had closed on Sunday. And then on Monday during the holiday, what we saw were mandatory and voluntary evacuations were going into effect through kind of in a rolling manner throughout the day as the fire moved, and we needed to call in additional resources.
So I got a call from Brett, the shelter manager, letting me know that the evacuations were expanding, so I needed to be on call. And then I got called in on Labor Day. I got to the shelter.
The American Red Cross prevents and alleviates human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors. The American Red Cross, through its strong network of volunteers, donors, and partners, is always there in times of need. They aspire to turn compassion into action so that all people affected by disaster across the country and around the world.
Yeah, so our involvement in the response effort for both the Bluestone Fire and the Cameron Peak Fire has been multifaceted. We've been involved with the Emergency Operations Center. We've also been prepared and have taken in animals for sheltering under protective custody for families that were evacuated.
Animal protection and control staff provided assistance during the fires by providing transportation for evacuees who couldn't transport their animals to Larimer Humane Society themselves.
A big part of preparing for the fires was making sure that we had adequate kennel space, that there was enough room in the barn. So what we really did is rearranged a lot of animals and strategically placed them around the shelter to make sure that we had enough room for animals coming in.
We started to get calls for service for evacuations actually on Sunday night, but after we had closed on Sunday. And then on Monday during the holiday, what we saw were mandatory and voluntary evacuations were going into effect through kind of in a rolling manner throughout the day as the fire moved, and we needed to call in additional resources.
So I got a call from Brett, the shelter manager, letting me know that the evacuations were expanding, so I needed to be on call. And then I got called in on Labor Day. I got to the shelter around 1:30, and it was just go, go, go from the second I got here.
All types of animals, chickens, goats, sheep, dogs, cats, anything you can think of, peacocks, all kinds of animals.
Starting around like 4:30 that day on Labor Day is when cars just started lining up outside with animals that needed to be housed here.
The Cameron Peak Fire, we had about an hour and a half to get out, and we only needed to get our dogs out. That was the only concern. We weren't worried about all the other personal stuff. And that gave us a lot of relief because we got out 13 dogs and a couple of cats and a bird. So that's quite a large amount. We can't just go hang out at somebody's house with those kind of dogs, and our dogs have some special needs. So it was very, very comforting to know that we could bring them right there.
In taking those animals, getting those vaccinations done, getting them in their kennels, working with their owners, and working to get them, as smoothly and as efficiently as possible into our doors, and reassuring those owners that, I know you're going through something crazy right now, but we're here for you, and we're going to take care of your animals. And we use our process that we've got down, that we use every day, and it can work well in times of crisis, just like it does on a day-to-day basis for us.
Sometime after 5 o'clock on Sunday until around 10 o'clock on Monday, we took in 122 animals.
I mean, I think that's why we're all here. When you come into animal welfare in this industry, you want to help people and you want to be there. And you know, knowing that those people are going through probably some of the most dramatic and traumatic times of their lives, and we're here to assure them that, you know, your animals are going to be safe with us. They've got a home, they've got food, they're going to get their vaccines and their shelter, and it's a great feeling.
To know that their beloved pets are here and they're safe and they're being cared for is just a real relief for those people, and for us to be able to provide that service, to me, honored is the word that continues to come to my mind.
Thank you all so much for watching that important message from the Larimer County Humane Society. So let's take a moment to go through the track. We're on board with Bumper. He just went through the start-finish gate here. Unfortunate. We've got Slippy coming into the start-finish here. Finishing out that race. I had let them run a practice race real quick. Let's see where Trim is at. Trim is over here. He's going to come up into this split S section. We're only missing a little bit of the track here. There's a ascending Jacob's ladder that you're going to come around and through here. And then you're going to come around this beacon on the side of the mountain, down through the blind dive gate into a wide carousel. It might not look like it, but there's a recharge gate right here underneath that structure. Trying to fly slow for us. And then he comes through the top of that structure. He's going to hit this area right here through the underneath, or the underside of this dive gate. And then there's a dive structure here. Sorry about that. I had to set one of the pilots to flying so that they could get in on the next round of practice here. Actually, let's go ahead and start one. Here we go. Let's take Bumper's point of view, since he was the first one through the start-finish gate here. You're gonna hit that dive gate right off the bat here, and come around into the start, or the split S, up through the ascending Jacob's ladder, just like we were talking about before. You're gonna come around into that blind gate. This one's a little bit more difficult because you can't really see anything but the indicator as you're coming around that corner. In through the arches there, through the recharge gate in the bottom, up to the top of the structure. And you hit the bottom of that dive gate down through this descending dive. I'm going to cut it kind of close to this rock here. Make your way around it. Down into the tunnel. Before coming up and around split S into that gate standing beside the cube here, in and around the cube. Down past the rock into the start-finish gate. And that's the track there. It is the SS Belmont Transformer track. And again, guys, this is your last chance to get the brackets in for betting on this event. Now that you've seen a couple of the racers fly around, maybe you have a bit of a better idea and feel more comfortable putting it in, but it is free, and there is a chance to win a ½ ounce of silver. So head on over to the Facebook page, hit that like button, and click on the link in the post at the top of our page. Hide this chat real quick. Turn off the stick indicators. And now, throughout the night tonight, throughout the stream today, we will be playing clips of the affected areas provided by FPV Evil Monkey. So please enjoy this flight footage before we get into racing. As seen there, we do ask that you consider, if possible, making a donation of your time or a financial contribution to one of the organizations that we've listed below. If you're watching on YouTube, there are links to donate directly in the description of this video. If not, then they will be on the... if you are on Twitch, I would ask that you please head over to the YouTube stream and click on some of those links if you feel the urge or have the capacity to donate or volunteer your time. We're about to get into the racing. We only have one more thing that I'd like to show you. It's just a short a video from the Red Cross. Yeah, okay. We're just about to get started with today's exciting simulator racing tournament. While we set up the first two pilots, let's send it over to a video put together by the Red Cross and various musical artists.
It's now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Hello, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you wanna know what the world needs now is love, sweet love.
That's the only thing that is just truly love.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Not just for some, but for everyone.
What the world needs love, love, sweet love.
It's the only thing that there's truly love.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Not just for some, but for everyone.
No, not just for some, but for everyone.
So let's keep the love coming, you guys.
All right, folks. So with that out of the way, we are heading into the racing for today. Up first, we're going to have Slippy and Dr. Ride. We've got them ready to go. Let me just ask them in the Discord if they're good. All right. Slippy and Dr. Ride, you guys ready? It's go time. Alright guys, heading into the first race here. Let's see how it shakes out. Alright, so that's going to take Dr. Ride. That's Dr. Ride taking the first point over Slippy. 2 more for Dr. Ride, and he's going to take it. 3 more for Slippy. Going into the second race of this round. Alright folks, so we have Dr. Ride taking another point over Slippy. He needs 1 more to cinch out the first round here, and then Slippy's going to get eliminated, unfortunately. It's not a double elimination tournament this time. It's just a single elimination bracket. In the future, our events will most likely be a double elimination bracket. You guys good to go for round 3? Alrighty, getting started. Here we go. So that is Dr. Rye taking the 3rd point over Slippy. So unfortunately, Slippy's eliminated from the bracket. But stick around if you want. We'll have a fun fly afterwards. Yeah, bud. So we got Dr. Ride moving on here. Alright folks, and now tonight the music that you're hearing right now is provided by a musician from Denver called Bob Sink. You can find him on Facebook at facebook.com/BobSink1982. We're going to cut to his stream real quick so we can see a little bit of what he's got going on. We're going to get the next race set up, and then we will be back. Alright guys, so for this next round of racing, Slippy is out, and we've got FPV Skittles coming in his place, and then Dr. Ride took that round, so he moved on to the next set of the bracket, and going against FPV Skittles this time we have Bella Chow. So if the pilots are good to go, we'll get started with the first round of this set of racing. Alrighty, here it goes. Got Bella Chow taking the whole shot there. Yeah, that was some good racing. That was some good racing. You guys good for round 2? Alrighty, here we go, getting it started. Alright, last chance here for FPV Skittles. Going into round 3 of the second set of racing here. You guys good to go? Alrighty, getting it started. That was some awesome racing from FPV Skittles and Bella Chow. They were super close, neck and neck through that whole thing. Unfortunately, Skittles just couldn't make up the ground after he had a couple of crashes at the beginning of that third lap. And so that's going to be Bella Chow coming out on top and taking the first round and moving on to the semifinals round. Now we're halfway through the opening round of the tournament, but we'd like to take a couple of minutes to show you a message from the Grand Foundation and some of the Grand County residents that they support.
Here at the Grand Foundation, we strive to enhance our mission, which is to take care of the nonprofits, residents, and guests of Grand County, Colorado. We look forward to the future and all that it has to bring.
It's unexpected that I think this really sophisticated professional theater is located in the middle of this mountain town, and it's a surprise and it's a delight for the patrons. All of the things we do here are really well supported by the Grand Foundation. We're so glad to have that support, and that enables us to look forward and to make all parts of our program better.
In Grand County, we have all of these trails that everybody gets to enjoy. And with that, they don't take care of themselves. So, it takes a lot of power and efforts from the community, both boots on the ground to help maintain them, as well as our financial partners, including Grand Foundation, who's been with us since the beginning as a funding partner.
We've enjoyed a relationship with the Grand Foundation for over 20 years. Mountain Family Center has relied on their resources and expertise to guide us through mergers, expansion, rural development loans, and identifying new funding resources. Their focus is to serve our community, and they serve it very well.
Thank you for taking the time and learning a little bit more about the Grand Foundation and some of the nonprofits that we support in our community. We look forward to you learning more about what we do and what we have to offer Grand County, Colorado.
Alright folks, getting into the third round of the opening races here, we have It's Blunty and Flightning going up head to head, first to 3 laps. Let's see who's going to take it and move on to the next round here. If they're good to go, I'm going to start the race real quick. And here we go. So in that one, we had Blunty take a point over Flightning. And they weren't too far away at the end. Just one obstacle between Flightning and Blunty there at the end of that race. I'm just going to assume you guys are ready unless I hear otherwise from now on. So here we go, heading into round 2, or heat 2 of round 3, I suppose. This time it looks like we're having a bit of a more resounding lead here between Flightning and Blunty. Blunty coming in to finish out his 3rd lap here. That's going to be the race there. So that's 1 point for Blunty, 1 point for Flightning. Alright guys, so we got 1 point for Blunty and 1 point for Flightning. Let's head into the 3rd race of this round. Starting now. Alright, so that's going to be Flightning taking another point over Blunty, so one more for Flightning and he's going to move on. Blunty needs 2 more to keep his spot. Let's get going with the 4th race here and see if it's going to be the end, or if there will be one more race to seal it after that. Alright, and that is going to seal this round for Flightning. Flightning is going to move on to the semifinals here. Blunty had a promising start there at the beginning. Flightning seems to come back and take it for this round here. Might have ourselves a bit of an underdog. I know I haven't heard too many people talking about, out of the pilots at least, talking about Flightning taking it today. My apologies. So we've got Blunty coming around into his last gate there, and that's going to be the race. Alright, good job guys. So that's going to be Flightning taking 3 points, Blunty getting 1. So that was our closest set of racing there so far, but Flightning is going to move on. And so now I am going to cut to the stream of Bob Sink. Again, you can find him on Facebook at facebook.com/BobSink1982 or on Bandcamp, where he's released 3 new singles recently. Let's cut to his stream real quick while I set up this next round of racing. All right, everybody, we're getting into the final round of racing here for the opening races. We've got Bumper and Trim King going head-to-head. First to three is going to move on. I have a thumbs up from both of the pilots, so we're going to go ahead and get started here with the first race of this set. I don't know about that. Alright, so that's going to be Bumper taking 1 point over Trim there. Heading into the second round now. Or the second race of this round, my apologies. I'm assuming that the pilots are good unless I hear otherwise. So we're going to start the racing here and now. Alright folks, so that's Bumper taking the second round over Trim here. Trim finishing out his race, gonna let him get that stick time in. Trim primarily a level or stability mode pilot with whoop class quads, micro class quads. I kind of tricked him on accident into thinking that this was a whoop race, and so he was practicing on that. Nice correction though up through the top of that structure. Let's see how he handles the dive gate here. Very nicely. Letting himself float down through. He's got to come around underneath there. Making his way up and into that cube gate there. Nice job on the dive. He's going to come around through the cube. Down past this little Pride Rock area. And in for lap 3. Alright, pilots, good job there. We got Bumper taking another point over Trim. Heading into race 3 for the last round of the opening races between Trim and Bumper. Trim Kang and Bumper, my apologies. Trim Kang. Alright folks, so we're on board with Bumper, who just won this round of racing here. Letting Trim get his full battery in. Bumper taking it nice and drifty up through that. So this is where the recharge gate is, right here. Right through that structure. Let's go back on board with Trim and see where he is at. He's coming up to the recharge gate right there. That's the recharge gate. Up through the top of this structure here. He's coming up to the end of the track. The pilots in the Discord are being very supportive of Trim learning how to fly acro here. Giving him some pointers. And I agree. One of the pointers they said was more camera angle. Raising the camera angle up gives you a little bit more propulsion, so lower throttle is a little bit more controllable. Some of the things that are happening here can be totally attributed to that. Nice catch from Trim, though. Coming through that first half of the cube here. Nice orbit. Coming down past Pride Rock into the start-finish for lap 3. Good stuff, guys. So that's Bumper taking 3 points over Trim there. So we're going to finish up that opening round of racing there. So that's going to close out the opening round of racing. If you're following along at home with your bracket, I hope it's going well for you. I know I saw a couple of people in the chat say that their bracket was out in the first round there. But we're going to get started with the semifinal rounds in just a bit. But first, let's hear from a natural resources expert about the importance of replanting efforts. And then another video of the affected areas by FPV Evil Monkey. Heading into that CSU edit.
Take care of Colorado's diverse forest environments for present and future generations. So that's looking at our state, not just today, but in the future. Normally when we look for areas that are priorities for reforestation, they're areas that can't naturally regenerate. So some of the fires we have, where we have large acreages burned, there's no way that natural seeding, which are light seeds blowing into that area and regenerating, are going to cover all that area. As a matter of fact, in some areas, without some type of seedling planting program, you could be looking at 1,000 years for those areas regenerate. And one of the things that seedling planting can do is restore that stability to those soils. If you look at the Hayman Fire, for example, Denver Water, they have reservoirs that have a significant amount of their volume taken up by silt instead of water. Water quality is a really important part of planting those seedlings to keep that soil in place.
Oh, mute Discord. Again, folks, if you do have the ability to contribute your time or financially contribute to any of these organizations, there are links in the video description of the YouTube stream that are clickable and will take you directly to the pages to donate to any of these organizations. With that said, I hope your brackets are going well. We're going to get started with the semifinals round of racing here. Up first for this set, there are two sets of racers. We have Dr. Ride and Bella Chow going head-to-head, and then after that we've got Flightning and Bumper. All four of these pilots are looking real good right now, so let's see what happens in the first round of semifinals here. Alright guys, getting ready to get started here. Thumbs up from both pilots, and then I will assume that you're good to go. Yeah, show me those thumbs. Drop those goggles and show me those thumbs. But yeah, I'll assume that you're good to go for the rest of the races too, unless you say something otherwise. Alrighty, here we go. Nice. Yeah, that was a pretty flawless run from Bella Chow there. Dr. Ride not too far behind though. One mistake could have cost you, but so we're heading into race 2 here. That's 1 point for Bella Chow. He needs 2 more, and Dr. Ride needs 3. So that's going to be another point for Belichow over Dr. Ride there. As Dr. Ride said, there are 0 mistakes allowed here in this race. There was really only one that I saw you make, and that was the one that really put a lead or a gap between you and Belichow. But we're heading into the 3rd round here. Let's see if Dr. Ride can take a win and keep himself in contention, or if Belichow is going to knock him out here and move on to the finals. Such close racing from those two pilots, Dr. Ride and Belichow. Close racing there through that 3rd heat and the 2nd one. One mistake would have cost it for Belichow, but he had those flawless runs and just kept cranking out personal best after personal best. So that's going to be Belichow moving on to the finals here. So Belichow secured a ½ ounce of silver at least, possibly a gram of gold. I'm going to kick it over to another video from FPV Evil Monkey, showing the affected areas while I set up the 2nd race of the semifinals. Let's go ahead and do that now. Yeah. As you saw just there, if you are able to contribute either your time or a financial contribution, please head over to the links in the YouTube video description. They will take you directly to those organizations' websites and a page where you can donate directly to them. We have Lightning and Bumper getting some practice rounds in. We're about to get started with the racing here. Let's make sure they're good to go. You guys both good to go? Thumbs up. Thumbs. Alrighty, then I will assume that you're good to go for the rest of the races as well, unless you tell me otherwise. But we're going to get started with the second round of semifinals racing here, deciding the second person, or pilot, who will be competing for finals. Here we go. So that's going to be 1 point for Flightning over Bumper there. 2 more for Flightning, and he's going to move on to finals with Bella Chow. Let's head into the second round, or the second race here. Bumper, let's go. We're about to get into another one here, guys. Flightning and Bumper on the line. Here we go. So that's 2 points for Flightning and none for Bumper here. Let's see if Bumper can get a point in this next race and keep himself in contention, or if he's going to get knocked out by Flightning. Here we go, guys, going into the third race. Some awesome piloting from Flightning and Bumper, that one. Probably the closest racing we've seen so far tonight. That's going to be Flightning. That's going to be Flightning taking it over Bumper and moving on to finals to race against Belichow. So Flightning and Belichow, one of you is taking home an ounce of silver, well, not taking home, but will receive an ounce of silver, and the other will receive a gram of gold for taking first place. So good flying from all the pilots so far up until this point. Again, we're going to do a fun fly after this, so if you want to stick around and be a part of that, feel free. These guys are funny. Alright, so let's see here. Well, while we were getting today's final races set up, we're going to send it over to a video from the Boulder County Community Foundation, as well as a volunteer from the Red Cross explaining why she volunteers her time. So stick with us, and we'll be right back with more racing finals to see who takes home the gram of gold in just a bit. And boom.
You have to keep fighting and you have to keep working.
How's homeschooling going?
Hola!
Yeah, do it. There. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I love it.
Jordy, the man.
Thank you for sharing as always.
That they were looking for shelter volunteers. And with the COVID situation, I've got some free time in my schedule right now. And I thought, I've always wanted to volunteer. I think the American Red Cross is a terrific organization. And so I got on the website, sent an email, and here I am. Hurricane season's definitely on the way this year. And I've been really impressed with the onboarding that the American Red Cross has done so far. There's been, like I said, thorough training. Everybody's been really terrific. I really feel like when I go into a shelter that I'll be prepared and that I'll definitely have a great support system. This is a great opportunity to get back to the community. I feel like I've just been so fortunate in many ways in my life. Anytime we have an opportunity to help in such a desperate situation, which usually these are, do it. And I just look forward to seeing whatever it is that I can do and how I can contribute.
All right, folks, so that was the Boulder County Community Foundation's promotional material and the message from a Red Cross volunteer as to why she chose to volunteer her time. Later on, we'll talk to, or we'll hear from a couple more volunteers as to why they choose to continue volunteering their time. For now, though, we are heading into the finals for the racing today. So hopefully everybody's brackets are going well at home. I'm excited to tally those up and see how many people we had get close to perfect answers. Up now, we have Flightning, and we're going to bump her off of there and throw Bella Chow on. Slide Flightning over to this side so we know who's racing who. Flightning and Bella Chow, you guys good to go? Alrighty, I'm going to assume you're good to go for the rest of the races until I hear otherwise. And we're going to start finals right now. So in this race we have Bella Chow and Flightning. Bella Chow going to have a bit of a stumble there at the start. That's not going to matter for him. He's out in front still. Let's go on board as he makes his way through the ascending Jacob's Ladder here. Nice clean run into the dive gate, into the arches. Very good descent there. Let's see how far of a lead he's got on Flightning now. Flightning coming around the arches. Ooh, Flightning's having a rough first race. That's fine though, he's still got plenty of opportunities. The racing for finals is best to 5. Or first to 5, not first to 3. To give it a little bit more of a weight to the racing. But I'm going to mute up and just let you guys enjoy the racing. Here we go. Still anybody's race here. That's 1 point for Bella Chow over Flightning, but it's going to be first to 5, not first to 3. So plenty of opportunity for Flightning to still take it. We're going to move into the second race here and see who can take a point this time. Seriously awesome flying from both of you. Alright, so that's going to be Bella Chow taking 2 points over Flightning. Not 2 points this time, 2 points total. And so we're going to head into the third race here. See if Flightning can keep... oh wait, 5. First to 5. See, I forgot my own rule. Alright, here we go. Folks, if you're enjoying the stream, feel free to hit the like and follow button, the subscribe button on YouTube, the follow button on Twitch. Head over to Denver Drone Co. on Facebook. Hit us with a like there. We're going to be doing more of these tournaments on a regular basis. If we can find a way to make them charities, we're charity fundraisers, we will. But regularly moving forward, we will be streaming on Twitch and YouTube, possibly Facebook. Flightning coming through and taking a point, showing that it's still anybody's race here. So that's 1 point for Flightning, 2 points for Bella Chow. Heading into the fourth race here, let's see if Flightning can tie it up. So that's going to be Flightning taking a point and tying it up. It's 2-2, Flightning and Belichow. And just barely edged out Belichow on the leaderboard there with that time. Let's head into the 5th round of racing here and see who's going to get that point. That's Belichow just barely taking the point over Flightning there. One gate ahead of him. Yeah, I was wondering about that. So we're heading into the 6th round of racing here. 2 more points needed for Belichow, 3 more for Flightning. Let's see who's going to take the gold. All right, so it's tied up again. Belichow took the last one, and Flight One took the most recent. Or Flightning, not Flight One. Sorry. Little subliminal brand deal there. So yeah, 3-3 right now. 3 for Flightning, 3 for Belichow. Let's head into the 7th race here and see who's going to take the 4th point. Alright guys, so we're just finding out that Belichow has never flown a race in real life. He is purely in simulator pilot as of right now. He's working on building his first drone. But that's going to be Belichow taking the 4th point. So one more for Belichow and that's going to be it. One more for Flightning and it's tied up. And then that last race will decide who's going to take home the gram of gold. It looks like it's filling out to the full 9 possible races here. But let's get these guys going on their possibly the last race here of the 2020 Colorado Wildfires Charity Fundraiser and Awareness Drive. Again, if possible, if you are able to contribute financially or contribute your time to one of these organizations, please do so at the links in the YouTube, the description of our YouTube video. Alright pilots, you guys ready? Alright, this could be the last one if Belichow takes it. No pressure, Flightning, but you gotta take one more to tie it up and then you have another shot at taking home the gram of gold. No, but if Belichow wins this one, he wins the whole race. So if Flightning wins this one, then he gets another chance. Yeah. So here we go, we're getting into it right now. Some seriously exciting racing from both of those pilots there. So the score now here going into the last round of finals is 4-4. This is going to be the last race. We went as far as we could in this finals round. Both pilots taking 4 points so far. The fifth one is going to cinch the win for one of these pilots. Will it be Belichow or will it be Flightning who takes home that gram of gold? Both of these pilots guaranteed a piece of metal. But it just depends on which one takes that last point to decide which one's going to take home that gram of gold. Alright guys, this is the last round of racing. Both pilots good to go? Drum roll please, here we go, getting into it. Drop those goggles and show me those thumbs. Dang, very close racing there for the last round. Man. So Flightning had a bit of a rough start there at the beginning, and because of that Belichow's flawless run meant that there was absolutely no chance for Flightning to catch up there. Awesome racing for both of those pilots. That's gonna do it for the racing. That's going to do it for the racing there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for the race. Before we go, before we get into the bracket tallying and the winners announcement for these races, the podium announcement, I want to take some time to run through the 8 organizations that we're highlighting again tonight. I'm going to play their mission statements for you one more time, and then after that, we will watch. We'll talk about the race a little bit. We'll watch one more clip from Evil Monkey, FPV Evil Monkey, about the areas affected by the wildfires. And then we will get into the podium and who won the bracket. So stick around till the end. Thank you again so much for tuning into the racing. We will announce the bracket winner at the end of the stream. With that, I'm going to kick it over to a couple of these mission statements, and then we'll talk about the race some.
CEO of the United Way of Larimer County. As a 26-year member of this amazing community, I'm honored to announce that the United Way has launched the Cameron Peak Fire Recovery Fund this week. We're calling upon businesses, local donors, and others in our community and across the state to support our efforts to support our mountain community as they recover from the largest wildfire in Colorado history. We know that the needs and extent of the damage are long and deep, and we are here and are committed to supporting our neighbors for the long haul. Please join us at uwaylc.org, where you can make a financial contribution to this fund, or nocovolunteers.org, where you can volunteer to sign up for the many needs that we know will surface. We thank you so much. Couldn't be more honored to work alongside this incredible community in a time where a Larimer United is needed more than ever. Thanks.
Are really passionate about what they do. So I know that every student who comes into my classroom is interested in natural resources and wants to make the world a better place. So that's an exciting group of people to work with.
Our students see the future and see the opportunity that they have in front of them, and they're so pumped up about it. Teaching them to think a little more critically, to harness that optimism and that energy is inspiring.
I chose to come to CSU because I sense that this university is really focused on outreach with the community and making research useful for the community.
We can go outside at any time and have access to a museum that represents billions of years of Earth history. And so we have this backyard that provides this incredible opportunity to take students in the field.
Whether or not you're talking about on campus or in our mountain campus or international experiences, the students get an opportunity to get out in the field and speak directly to that passion of being outdoors.
It extends beyond the typical classroom. The world is basically our classroom.
It provides them with really relevant skills to enter the workforce, and there's very exciting job opportunities so that they're actually learning skills that are directly transferable to jobs after graduation.
I understand that I have a privilege to take care of the environment, to be a steward of the environment, so I take that very seriously, and I think a lot of students in this college share that sentiment.
We really would like to have the students in our classes have that global representation. So we endeavor to make sure students are working with students different than themselves.
It's great to be a part of a community where everyone's coming together because they want to make a difference in the world around us.
I think what bonds us all together is the mutual passion for the natural environment and our desire to share it with everybody else.
We are mentoring real leaders that inspire change.
Alright folks, we have one last video from FPV Evil Monkey to play before we get into the winners of the race and the winner of the at-home bracket betting entries. So we'll kick it to him for a few minutes while we finish getting everything ready here. And I will do that right now. One more time, this is Bob Sink providing the music for tonight's background. You can find him on facebook.com/bobsink1982 or at bobsink.bandcamp.com, where he's released 3 tracks recently. We're going to stick in with him for a little bit while we get the pilots gathered up, and we'll do a race recap.
Ratio and stuff like that. People
don't they do keep stats. They have stats in it.
Yeah,
don't
I think they have
rank you?
overall stats.
Isn't there a ranking system?
Is there?
I thought so.
There's
an
ELO system, so like
a numeric ranking system.
So if you at the bottom left on the stream, I don't know if any of you guys have it open, but it says the person's name, what lap and gate they're on, and then their rank. That rank is their ELO. So it's essentially the rank for a leaderboard.
Is it better to be higher or lower?
Lower. Lower number is better.
I see.
And so they could just use that for like ranked matchmaking, but they don't even need like an ELO system for just casual lobbies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Well, I know there's a KD ratio. They're keeping track of KD.
True.
Yeah, you would just want stats so you keep track of it and look at it.
Yeah.
And then but yeah, for matchmaking, if the community blew up, you'd need like balancing. But I would say just toss whoever's playing in.
So Bella, we're all live on the stream now. So Bella, how are you feeling after winning just now? Did you think you were gonna win when you came in?
I didn't. I mean, this is my first like 5-inch race and my first time winning. I'm feeling great right now. I really didn't expect that. No.
Do you normally fly acro on whoops?
On whoops, I fly angle. I fly angle on whoops. I just find it a little faster in races, and like I just flip too much in acro on whoops.
True. You said you haven't flown a real race yet. You're building your first drone. I'm building my first drone right now. I'm building a Xylo 5-inch right now. Very excited to get it going. Just burned down my ESC yesterday, so we'll see how that goes. But which ESC was it?
It was a 40 amp Xylo ESC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yep.
That's tight,
human
though.
error.
That's crazy though. So do you have a background in do you play games a lot? Do you play on controller? Do you what kind of hand-eye coordination background do you have?
Not much. I mean, I mainly play RPGs and strategy games. I kind of just got into flying at the beginning of this year and got a whoop and just got really into just flying around and trying to go as fast as I could. And then I discovered the online community for it, and that's been something to do during the pandemic that I could still be socially distancing but do a fun activity. And so I've kind of just dove headfirst into the whole thing, and it's been a great experience just doing all this competitively. I never thought I would be doing anything like this, honestly.
Yeah.
Before this.
It's pretty mind blowing when you first do when you first get into it, and then especially when you first race. It's there's a community for this. This is the potential sport.
Improved crazy fast too.
Yeah.
When in the Loop series, and he's tier 4, the lowest tier, but now he's basically as fast as like a tier 2, maybe even a tier 1.
I'd be a little upset, honestly, if I was on the other teams for that series.
It's been me and
There was definitely some stacking going on in the ones that I raced in.
Yeah, there has been.
Yeah.
But it's been fun going against you in the series, man. Skittles, it's been great.
Yeah. I was like faster than you for the first couple, and then we were like pretty even, and now you're like just crushing me.
It's been fun. It's been real fun.
The thing I like most about like the competitive aspect of drones is it's such a level playing field. You know what I mean? Like a veteran can come home a paraplegic and still compete. And so for people that are competitive, like say, I know there's one pilot that we fly with. I don't know if he's still flying much, but he's a retired football player. He's a very competitive. I mean, by nature, he has to be a very competitive guy for that. But say he had an injury and he was incapable of playing anymore. Well, drone racing gives him a platform to compete on a level playing field with other quote-unquote athletes.
Yeah, you're talking about our friend Devin Street, and the most amazing thing is when it comes to race days, it doesn't even really matter how important or unimportant the race day is. He'll talk to you. He's polite.
Yeah.
His mind is on that game. He's an athlete. It's really fun to watch him in our sport.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool. Man, I can't wait to get out and do real world racing. Just get into this whole community, and yeah, I'm super excited.
Well, crazy job flying today. Great job, dude. Seriously, congratulations.
Thank you.
And now, Flightning. Where'd you come from?
Where did I come from?
Yeah, I heard you say you're out in New York. You race with Zotex sometimes, and those guys.
Yep. 3-inch micro racing. There's a couple of clubs out here that I've been racing with for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, probably.
Is that in the Salty Dungeon?
I actually haven't raced down there yet, but there's another house that we race in someone else's basement out in the Ithaca area. What is it? Not FLX. iTown. Have you heard of iTown? FTV? It's a multi-GP chapter.
Unfamiliar, but are they one of the larger ones out there?
There's not really a lot of active chapters out in this area right now. They're one of them. They've been attracting people from, I drive, almost 2 hours to get to a race. I go hang out with those guys, so it's not like it's just right out back. But I've actually been working on running some events around here just recently. Just in the autumn, I did 2 events, like a fun fly and then an actual race. So
awesome.
When the world goes semi-normal again, and it's normal to have social events, then I'll probably try putting on some other events, maybe even some whoop races as well.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the big thing right now. Is like, we'd love to be able to hold whoop races in real life, but there's just in Colorado, there's a 0% capacity law or rule right now. So there's just no indoor gathering. You can't gather with people from outside of your home. So like if you have a friend over to hang out, then that's technically against the rules. So yeah, it's very crazy, but it'll be really good to get back to flying.
I run whoop races in the bars, and literally the order right now is that bars are closed.
Yeah.
So unless they're either cheating or selling food, as to go, they're closed. And if they're open, that means that there's no indoor seating or anything. So no whoop races this year except for Steven.
Yeah, well, Bumper runs the stuff down in the Denver branch of TOG, and I run stuff up in Fort Collins. And we were even looking at a warehouse to do this, where to be away from people.
Yeah.
And we both still on even that without the bar, without the other people there, was too risky.
Crazy.
Legally, not health-wise.
Right.
I'm not sure I agree on that. I'd be okay myself, but I don't feel good inviting other people down.
No, I'm just teasing. I'm just being political or something. I don't know what that is. I'm sick of it all.
All right, guys. So That was a little bit of a recap on the race there with the 2 pilots that won. We are going to start highlighting some of those organizations one more time. We have 3 more to go through, and then a message from the Red Cross about why people choose to continue to volunteer their time, and then we'll get into the podium and the bracket winner. Oops.
Take care of Colorado's diverse forest environments for present and future generations. At our state, not just today, but in the future. Normally we're looking for areas that are priorities for reforestation. They're areas that can't naturally regenerate. So some of the fires we have, where we have large acreages burned, there's no way that natural seeding, which are light seeds blowing into that area and regenerating, are going to cover all that.
Well,
area. As a matter of fact, in some areas,
honestly,
without some type of
the sim stuff,
seedling
it's
planting
just
program,
I've been
you could be looking at 1,000
busy with
years
some other
those-
stuff, like
those areas
getting the Part
regenerate.
107 and
One
taking
of
some
the
IT
things that seedling
certifications
planting
and
can
stuff
do
like
is
that.
restore that
But
stability of the
the
soil.
in
So
real
if you
life
look at
stuff,
Amon
it's
Fire,
money,
for
man.
example,
Like
Denver
I
Water,
wish I could afford
they have reservoirs
to
that have a significant amount of their volume taken up by silt
have
instead of
3
water.
identical
Water
quads that I
quality
could just
is a really
bash
important part of
at
planting those
races.
seedlings to keep that soil
But
in place.
and that's why I kind of like the idea of third 3-inch races.
It has to be kind of a give and take. It completes something about yourself, and that's why you do it.
It's important to give back to your community, give back to mankind. It does your heart good.
It gets you up in the morning, so to speak. It's really rewarding at the end of the day when you can kind of help someone out.
Needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Charity has to be kind of a give and take. It completes something about yourself, and that's why you do it.
It's important to give back to your community, give back to mankind. It does your heart good.
It gets you up in the morning, so to speak. It's really rewarding at the end of the day when you can kind of help someone out. My name's Ashley Turner, and I am the volunteer partner, the American Red Cross, for the Disaster Program Specialist. I work heavily with our volunteer services department, onboarding new volunteers as they come in. I think a lot of people think the Red Cross is the big disasters, and obviously that's something we respond to, but everyone kind of forgets what we really do respond to, which are the everyday disasters, which are the single-family fire.
My name is Sean Wetta. I am a Red Cross volunteer. We go out to fires in the city here, and we're there within 60 minutes. This is someplace where I can really make a difference for people. I know how to, relate to them because of having the experience that I had growing up in a fire.
My name's Guy Forte, and I've been volunteering with American Red Cross for 7.5 years. Being ready for a disaster, it takes a lot of preparation, a lot of logistics. When someone calls and says they need a shelter, it's ready to go. And it all starts right here in the warehouse and ends up at a shelter. Just because you retire, that's not the end of your life. You got all that work behind you. So I thought I'd volunteer, and now I've got all this work ahead of me. But I love it.
Once you kind of get that benefit of like, oh, I'm actually making a difference, I think it keeps you engaged in the Red Cross and makes you more committed as a volunteer.
I don't know what it is, the feeling that I get after you've taken care of somebody. So, I mean, it's just amazing.
You're a family, the Red Cross people are, and it takes a lot of guts and it takes a lot of compassion.
Grants from the Boulder County Community Foundation 2020 Fires Fund will be made to nonprofit organizations, municipal, and county entities to support immediate relief needs and longer-term recovery needs for individuals and organizations. Boulder County staff will work with individuals to identify needs and deploy financial help. Additionally, the 2020 Fires Fund will make grants directly to nonprofit organizations affected by the fires or that are providing additional services to the community because of the fires. An advisory committee to Community Foundation Boulder County will advise decision-making. If funds raised exceed needs, the excess will be placed in Community Foundation Boulder County's COVID-19 Response Fund. They understand the weight of this additional community crisis during a year when so many are already stretched thin, emotionally, mentally, and financially, due to the pandemic. Know that they are with you, and their energy to support the needs of Boulder County remains steadfast. To contribute to the Boulder County Community Foundation's 2020 Fires Relief Fund, please go to www.comfound.org/2020firesfund. One of the most redeeming qualities of Grand County, Colorado is its ability to come together during adversity. Now more than ever, Grand County needs your support. The Grand Foundation has established the Grand County Wildfire Emergency Fund to support the needs of Grand County residents who have been evacuated, displaced, or have lost their homes during the Grand County wildfires. 100% of donations will be distributed locally to those in need. The East Troublesome Fire has devastated Grand Lake and continues to threaten Granby, Colorado, Hot Sulphur Springs, and surrounding areas. The fire started on Wednesday, October 14th, and grew 6 times its size in 24 hours. The speed, size, and location of the fire have forced evacuations and the closure of Rocky Mountain National Park and many surrounding roads. Several Grand County residents have lost their homes. Weather, terrain, and beetle-kill lodgepole pine have contributed to the growth of this fire. As fires continue to burn, volunteer organizations are on the ground providing critical support for victims and emergency responders. The lives of our Grand County residents and those fighting for them have been turned upside down overnight with little to no warning. They need our support now. To show that support, please click the link in the description below to be taken to the Grand Foundation's website. The mission of the Colorado Professional Firefighters Foundation is to provide aid and support to Colorado firefighters, their families, and dependents who are victims of tragedy. The Colorado Professional Firefighters Foundation was founded in January 2002 by members of the Colorado Professional Firefighters who recognized the tremendous void left in the lives of Colorado firefighters when tragedy strikes. The founders realized the men and women who sacrifice their lives or are injured while saving others leave families with very real emotional and financial needs. Many of the needs of the widows, widowers, and orphans of fallen firefighters are overlooked after a tragedy. It was from this financial void the purpose of the Colorado Firefighters Foundation was forged. Donations to the foundation go directly to families of firefighters who have fallen, or directly to firefighters who were injured or have suffered great tragedy. To make a contribution, please head over to cpfffoundation.com or click the link in the description of the YouTube stream below to be taken directly to a page to donate. Alright folks, thank you so much for sticking with us this long into the stream. I genuinely hope that we were able to bring a little bit of awareness to some of these organizations. I know that somebody had mentioned that they're from out of state, so it means a lot to see people from out of state showing support for the drone community and just the general community in Colorado after these wildfire season. So, with that said, if you do have an opportunity to contribute either financially or to volunteer your time to any of these organizations, in the link of the YouTube description, in the YouTube description video, there are links to be taken directly to these organizations' websites, to pages to donate directly to them. Thank you again for sticking with us this long. We're going to start by highlighting, at the beginning we had Dr. Ride and Slippy battle it out, where Dr. Ride took the win there. Then Bella Chow and FPV Skittles. Bella Chow came out on top for that one, so he moved on. Then, in the rest of the beginning round there, we had It's Blunty go up against Flightning. And Flightning ended up taking the win there, kind of with a come-from-behind underdog out of the blue. Then we've got Bumper and Trim King that finished out that round of racing. Bumper took the lead on that one. So in the semifinals, we then had Dr. Ride and Bella Chow going head-to-head, which Bella Chow took the win in that heat. Then we had Flightning and Bumper battling it out for Flightning to come out on top and end up in the finals. It was very close racing throughout the finals there between Bella Chow and Flightning. 4 points to 4 points before that last race, where Bella Chow took the win and cinched it. Flightning just had a rough start there at the beginning of that last heat, and because Bella Chow's run was just so flawless in that last race, Flightning just didn't have a chance to catch up there. So with that said, congratulations to Bella Chow for taking first place in the 2020 Colorado Wildfires fundraiser and awareness drive. I will be reaching out to both of the winners after this to get them their prizes. Flightning, congratulations on taking second place. The rest of the pilots, awesome flying today. That was seriously exciting to watch. Very enjoyable. And I genuinely appreciate you guys participating, because without the pilots, there is no race. So congratulations to Bella Chow, congratulations to Flightning, and thank you to the rest of the pilots. Now, the moment you may not have all been waiting for, the bracket betting. So we had several entries. Nobody actually had a perfect bracket. Nobody expected that Bella Chow or Flightning was going to come from behind out of nowhere and take the win there, especially with this being Bella Chow's first 5-inch simulator race. Very promising start to a drone racing career there for Bella Chow. But the bracket betting, we tallied up all of the results while we were playing those ads there for the organizations that we're highlighting throughout this stream. And the winner of that was actually the wife of one of the pilots participating today. The winner was Melissa Ponce de Leon. She had the most correct picks out of the entries that we received. And so for that, she's going to take home a 1/2 ounce of silver in the shape of a Lego brick. If she wins the next one, she can come back, win the next one, and then stack that second Lego brick on top of the first Lego brick. See how tall they can get their stack. Congratulations to Melissa Ponce de Leon. Congratulations. You've won the bracket. And I will reach out to the email address that you provided or through Dr. Ride to get you your prize. With that, I'm going to wrap up the 2020 Colorado Wildfires awareness drive and fundraiser. Again, one more time, if you are capable, please do go down and make a financial contribution or volunteer your time to one of these organizations in the description below. Thank you again to everybody who came out. If you enjoyed the stream, feel free to hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button so you can get notified the next time we go live. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/DenverDroneCo. And keep your eyes peeled. We will be doing another series coming up in either a month or 2 months. And we will be posting information about that in the coming weeks. Thank you again so much. I genuinely appreciate everybody coming and showing support for the community, especially the people who are out of state. Didn't have to do that today, and we genuinely appreciate your time. Have a great day. Steven D'Agostino, 4D3D3D3 with Denver Drone Company saying thank you.